Today we are going to see what are options. So basically there are two types of options, call option and put option. Now we'll see what are those and how to work with them. So what is an option basically? An option is a contract between a buyer and a seller. In this contract, the buyer has the right but not the obligation to buy a certain asset at a specific price at any time during the life of the contract. Okay, now we'll see what this definition means. So it means that the buyer has the right, I mean, he can exercise the right anytime he wants of a certain asset. Asset can be a gold or stock or a piece of land. Asset can be anything. So this is the basic definition of an option. Now some general concepts related to options. So the first is option buyer, which you also known as option holder, the one who buys the option. It is basically this option buyer is given the right to buy or sell an asset. Okay, now what is option seller? So once there is a buyer, there has to be a seller also. In this option seller, this means it issues options contract. It means it has the obligation to sell or buy the asset if the option is exercised by options holder. Suppose the option is the option is going in favor of the buyer. Now the buyer wants to use this option. Then the option seller has to give the remaining amount or the whatever the option there is in the contract. Now what is strike price? Strike price is the price at which the asset can be traded under a option contract. Now a time frame. So every option comes with a time frame, like the expiration date. It is the date at which the option is if the option is unexercised, then it becomes invalid. Now for using an option, the option buyer has to pay a premium. I mean, that means that to purchase the option, he has to pay a premium. Now call option. Call option is a negotiable instrument that gives the option buyer the right to buy the underlying asset at a specific price, which is the exercise price, within a given time period. I mean, that is still expiration date. Now we'll see Apple stock trading in a terminal. As we can see, the Apple stock is trading at approximately 123.19. Here are the different strike price of Apple stock, and suppose we take a strike price of 125. We can see that it is trading at approximately 1.54. I had taken in between value. Now these are different things, delta, gamma, vega, theta. We'll learn about these in next slides. And this is the volume. It means that 25.6 thousand lots have been traded here. This is the basically call option. Now we'll look at put option. Now here we can see that here are different strike prices. Suppose we look at 125 here again. We can see that it's trading at approximately 3.2, and here we can also see that the implied volatility, which is IV, it is 30%. Now we'll look upon an example of call option. Suppose today is 1st July and the shares of IBM are trading at 115. Now suppose there is a call option at a strike price of 120 and the premium on call option is $1. So we have the following things: strike price of 120, expiration date 31st July, and premium is $1. Now the time period for expiry is 1 month. So option contract. So suppose the option contract contains one lot which has 100 shares of price at 120. Now, when will you exercise this option? It is only valuable if IBM is trading above 120 per share on 31st July. Suppose it's trading at 125, then you have $5 as profit, and you have paid $1 as premium. Then your net profit is $4. Now we'll see another example of call option. Suppose there are four people: Susie, Sammy, Peter, and Harry. So Susie wants to sell her house for rupees $500,000, and Sammy comes. Okay, Sammy wants to buy the house. Now see what things can happen. So okay, Susie said, like, I'll give you the option to buy my house for $500,000 at any time within the next 3 months. So in all these, this Susie is giving a call option to Sammy for what price? For the strike price of rupees $500,000. And what is the expiration date? Which is, it is 3 months. Okay, Sammy said, okay, you give me that option, I'll give you $5,000 upfront, which is option premium, to take your house off the market. Okay, so this Sammy pays $5,000 directly to Susie. Now what happens? Suppose Sammy got another investor who wants to buy the house for $600,000. Okay, now what Sammy can do is Sammy can sell the house to Peter and collect $600,000, out of which he can pay $500,000 to Susie, and his profit will be $100,000. $100,000 will be his profit, but what will be his net profit? Net profit will be $100,000 minus the option premium which he paid. And what was the option premium which he paid? It was $5,000. So his net profit is $95,000. Suppose suppose the property price went to $400,000 from $500,000. Now what will Sammy do? Sammy will think that, okay, I didn't actually bought the house. I just bought the option of house for 3 months for $5,000. But if I actually bought the house, I'll make a loss of $100,000. So Sammy will not exercise his option and leave the house as is. Now what will the net loss for Sammy? Net loss will be $5,000, which he lent it as a premium to Susie. Now in all these things, what Sammy has? Sammy has the house for 3 months, and the most he can lose is $5,000. And what is the most that he can gain? He can gain anything. If he sell the house for suppose 1 million, he can gain $500,000 in that only. And what is the benefit of Susie? Now Susie is getting upfront $5,000 as a premium to give the house control to Sammy for 3 months. We'll take another example of call option. Suppose currently the gold is trading at $1,900 and you want to buy a call option on it with the same strike price as $1,900, which is and premium of $20. Now each contract represents an interest of 10. That means one lot contains 10 ounce of gold. Now the upfront money that you'll have to pay is 20 into 10, which is $200. Now scenario 1 happens. Suppose the gold is trading at $2,000. Now you bought the call option at $1,900. So your option will be worth $100, and the total payoff will be 100 into 10, which is $1,000. Now your net profit will be $1,000 minus $200 which you paid as premium. So your net profit will be $800. When the market price is greater than the strike price, the option is called in the money option. Now scenario 2. Suppose the gold is trading at $1,900. Now you had the right of buying gold at $1,900 only. Now the option will be worth 0 and the payoff will be 0. But there will be a loss, and that loss will be the premium which you had paid. Now when the market price is equal to the strike price, the option is known as at the money option. Now scenario 3. Suppose the gold is trading at $1,800. You have no reason to exercise your call option and you can let the option expire worthless. Now your net profit will be, basically your loss will be $200, again the premium which you had paid. When the market price, which is $1,800, is less than the strike price, which is $1,900, the option is called as out of the money option. Now the payoff from call options. In case you're buying a call, then your payoff will be, suppose on the expiration date the stock price is greater than the strike price, then your payoff will be stock price minus strike price if stock price is greater than the strike price, and if strike price is less than stock price, then the payoff is 0. Now call option payoff example. Suppose BCE Incredible November call with exercise price of $30 is selling at $5.75. Now suppose the BCE stock at expiration is the following: 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It can be anything. Now the payoff at expiration will be $0 till $30, then $5 for 35 and 10 for 40. Suppose if at expiration the BCE is trading at $40, then your net profit will be option payoff, which is 10 minus the premium which you paid, which is 5.75. So the net profit is 4.25. Up to $30, the options investors maximum loss is 5.75 and the break-even point for investor is 35.75. Now this is the payoff diagram. At any price below 30, our loss is fixed 5.75. It cannot go more than that. But our upside is not fixed. It is unlimited, and the break even will occur at 35.75. Now the payoff of selling or writing a call. Suppose ST is the stock price and E is the strike price. If stock price is greater than strike price, the payoff will be negative. That is, the seller will have to pay money, and which will be equal to stock price minus the exercise price. Now otherwise the payoff of the call writer is 0, and or we can say it's premium. In this diagram we can see if the stock price is less than 30, then the maximum profit that the option writer will have is 5.75, and if the stock price goes above 35.75, then the option seller will have losses. Now coming to the put option. It is an option contract in which the holder has the right but not the obligation to sell a specified quantity of a security at a specified price within a fixed period of time, which is until its expiration. Coming to examples of put option, suppose there is a guy, Sammy, who like to buy an insurance policy on his truck for $40,000. Then Susie says, okay, I'll give you insurance policy, but that will be $1,500 a year. Now here this insurance policy is basically put option only, and this $40,000 is strike price, and the premium is $1,500 with expiration date of 1 year. Scenario 1. Suppose Sammy's truck is not stolen or damaged. Sammy will enjoy his insurance while Susie will get her $1,500. Now scenario 2. Suppose Sammy's truck is damaged in an accident and he says like this, it will all cost $10,000 in repairs. Okay, then Susie will say, okay, here's your $10,000 for your repairs as agreed. Now Semi will benefit from this downside and Susie will have to pay. Now scenario 3, suppose Sammy's truck got stolen. He said he would like to file an insurance claim to buy a new truck, and that would cost same as exactly, which is $40,000. Now Susie will say, okay, here's your $40,000 for a new truck. Now put option examples. Suppose that you believe that Yahoo stock is going to fall in the near future, and you can buy put options on Yahoo. If you want to sell Yahoo stock, which is currently trading at 12 per share, you can purchase a put option contract on Yahoo stock with $10 strike price, and you can pay a premium of $0.2 per share, and this contract is basically has 100 shares. Now how much premium will you give? You will give 100 into 0.2, which is $20. Scenario 1, the stock actually falls and it comes to $8 per share. Then the option buyer has the right to sell stock as $10 per share. Each option will be worth $2 per share, and the total sale payoff will be $200. Basically 2 into 100 shares. 100 shares are the contract. In one contract there are 100 shares. Now the net profit will be 200 minus 20, and 20 is the premium. So the net profit is $180. Scenario 2. The stock is trading as $10 per share. The option buyer has the right to sell the stock at $10 per share. So the option will be worth 0, and the total payoff will be 0. But as you have paid the premium, your net profit will be $20. Net loss will be $20. Now suppose the stock is trading at $15. Now you have no reason to exercise your put option. You can let the option expire worthless. Your net loss will be $20, which is the premium. Now the payoff of put buyer. Suppose the strike price is less than stock price, then the payoff is 0, or you can say the payoff is only the premium. If the stock price is less than strike price, then the payoff is strike price minus stock price. Now put option example. There is BCE, which is trading at $30, and at $30 strike price the premium is 0.3. Now these are the following BCE stock at expiration and the payoff at expiration. If at expiration the stock is trading at $20, then the net profit will be option payoff, which is 20 minus 10 minus your option price, the option premium basically, which you pay, which is 0.3. So a net profit will be 9.7. Now this is the diagram of put option buyer. We can see as we go above 29.7, which is a break-even point, there is profit of put option buyer, and as we go above 29.7 there is loss, and the maximum loss is minus 0.3, which is the premium paid. Payoff of selling a put option is following. Suppose stock price is greater than strike price, then the payoff is 0, and if stock price is less than strike price, then the payoff is stock price minus strike price. This is the payoff of an put option writer. The break-even point is coming at 29.7. Above that, the payoff of put option writer will be 0.3, which is the maximum, and if we go below 29.7, then he will have losses. So basically the question is, why investors use options? First reason is speculation. Speculators make bets, guesses on where they believe the market will be headed. They seek profit from fluctuating prices of securities. Then second reason is hedging. Like as we saw in the insurance example, it reduces risk. Suppose there is a company which depends on Agave plants. And the company fears, like, if the prices of Agave plants rises to great levels, then they'll incur very high losses. So this company will buy call options on the Agave plants, and they can be sure that even if the prices of Agave plants right, the call option will give them money. Then hedging example. Suppose you bought 100 shares of Apple computers at $500, but wanted to make sure you don't lose then more than 10% of this investment. Then you can buy put options on Apple shares at strike price of 450. Now your maximum loss is fixed, which is just 10% of the investment. Now in scenario 1, suppose if the price drop at below 450 a share, then you will be able to exercise your option and sell your stock at $450. Now, so in scenario 2, suppose the price increases to above 450. Then basically your options become worthwhile, but at least you had the protection. If it could have gone to $400, then your option would be much worth.
Please do reach out to us.